Okay, so sorry about that, stream got disconnected. Acha, resuming now. So here the question says, using your equation from part A, sir, should we only practice paper 1 or paper 2 as... No, you should practice from both. Like I said, the only difference is there's no difference in paper 1 and paper 2, it's just to divide the syllabus, so you should be doing both. Okay? Using an equation from part A, find the positive values of x for which the straight line exists. Acha, I have a question from you guys. For you guys. The question is that how do you make sure that this function stays alive? Okay. Considering that you have ln over here, how exactly are you going to make sure that this function stays alive? Okay. How are you going to make sure that y stays defined? What is it that we need to watch out for? Let's see how well you guys know logarithmic functions. Inshallah, I will get B in maths. Well, let's hope you get higher than B. Inshallah. Okay. I'm going to repeat my question. How exactly do we make sure that a logarithmic function stays alive? या वो undefined ना हो जाए, error ना हो जाए उसमें. What do we do? Not by inputting values. Yes, ln 0 now, exactly. Okay. Not just 0, in fact, it stays greater than 0. Okay. So basically, here's what we're going to do. So what we're going to do is 2.1 x square minus 0.44 we're going to make sure that this remains greater than 0. Okay. How do we make sure this remains greater than 0? 2.1 x square is greater than 0.44. Okay. Which means that x square is greater than 0.44 over 2.1. Acha, how do we find out the value of x now? Well, we're going to take square root on both sides. Okay. So 0 सबसे पहले तो 0.44 डिवाइड बाय 2.1 करते हैं तो ये हो जाएगा हमारा 22 ओवर x स्क्वायर इज ग्रेटर देन 22 ओवर 105. ठीक है. अब जब हम दोनों साइड्स पे स्क्वायर रूट लेंगे, नोटिस हाउ द क्वेश्चन इज ओनली आस्किंग यू फॉर द पॉजिटिव वैल्यूज ऑफ x. ठीक है. सो दैट मीन्स हम क्या करेंगे, लेट्स फाइंड आउट द स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ द आंसर. ठीक है. If you take the square root of the answer, so x is greater than 0.4577, which means x is greater than 0.458. And since सवाल आपसे सिर्फ positive x values पूछ रहा था, ठीक है, so that means you just need to write down positive value. Okay, I'll explain this again. देखो, so first of all, let's try and understand the question. The question says, using an equation in part A, find the positive value of x for which the straight line exists. Now, this straight line will only exist when, for as long as you put a value of x that give you an output. Okay. So log function के बारे में हम पढ़ते हैं ना कि भाई अगर आपके पास log a base b है, so there are a couple of things that we always make sure of कि आपका argument is always greater than 0. ठीक है. This is one thing we always make sure of, and we also make sure that our base is also greater than 0, and at the same time our base is not equal to 1. So ये आपके log function के define होने के rules होते हैं. So यहाँ पे भी if you want to keep your log function defined, so you'll make sure that your argument is greater than 0. That is how you will make sure that the straight line exists. ठीक है? Hope that's clear. अच्छा. Now we're going to do some questions from May, June 2020. 2021 actually, not 2020, 2021. Okay. Now, अब ये एक इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है, इसमें हमारा एक डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर होगा. ठीक है. स्ट्रेट लाइन एग्जिस्ट इज रिफरिंग टू व्हाट एग्जैक्टली? स्ट्रेट लाइन एग्जिस्ट इज रिफरिंग टू द फैक्ट दैट व्हाट वैल्यूज ऑफ एक्स शुड वी कंसिडर टू मेक श्योर कि ये फंक्शन अनडिफाइंड ना हो जाए. क्योंकि देखो, स्ट्रेट लाइन जब एग्जिस्ट करेगी फॉर एज लॉन्ग एज वाई की कोई वैल्यू निकलेगी. y की वैल्यू जब तक निकलेगी जब तक आप इस फंक्शन का ख्याल रखेंगे. इस फंक्शन का ख्याल कैसे रखेंगे? यू विल मेक श्योर दैट योर आर्ग्यूमेंट व्हिच इज 2.1 x स्क्वायर माइनस 0.44 रिमेन्स ग्रेटर दैन 0. दैट इज व्हाट यू विल मेक श्योर ऑफ. ठीक है. if your argument ever gets less than 0, that means आपका log function ही exist नहीं कर रहा, और अगर यही exist नहीं कर रहा, so what does that mean? That means के आपका पूरा function ही defined नहीं है. Okay, so hope that's clear to you guys now. Acha, with this out of the way, like I said, let's do some questions from May June 2021. Okay, so in this question we're going to cover a very important concept, and that is कि हम एक non-linear relationship को linear में कैसे convert करते हैं. ठीक है, that is what we're going to do. So it says over here, variables x and y are such that y is equals to ax to the power b, where a and b are constants. When LGY is plotted against LGX, a straight line graph passing through the points 0.61, 0.57 and 5.36, 4.37 is obtained. Find the value of a and b. Yes, these videos will be available as recordings, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, now, so first things first, y is equals to mx plus c. We all know that, right? Instead of y, we'll have LGY, and place of x, we'll have LGX, okay, plus c. Alright, अच्छा, that means हमारी equation कुछ इस तरह की होनी चाहिए. ठीक है, this is what our equation should look like. Okay, now remember, what are we starting with? We are starting with this, and what is this? Y is equals to ax to the power b. ठीक है, अब सबसे पहले हमें क्या करना है? सबसे पहले हमें इसको इस फॉर्म में लाने के लिए we'll have to put LG on both sides. ठीक है, now when we put LG on both sides, we get LGY is equals to LG ax to the power b. Now for the time being, this whole thing is basically the argument of LG, and then we're going to split it open one by one. So LGY is equals to LGA plus LGX to the power b. Now what rule have I used here? Pay close attention. I'll tell you what rule that the rule that I've used here is basically product law. ठीक है, लॉग्स में जो हम प्रोडक्ट लॉ पढ़ते हैं ना, मैंने वो यहाँ पे यूज़ किया है कि इफ़ यू हैव लॉग ए बेस बी प्लस लॉग सी बेस बी, सो दिस बिकम्स व्हाट? दिस बिकम्स लॉग ए सी बेस बी. ये नॉर्मली हम इस डायरेक्शन में अप्लाई करते हैं, ठीक है, बट रिमेंबर ये इस डायरेक्शन में भी अप्लाई हो सकता है. ठीक है, ओके, देन नाउ वी आर लुकिंग एट एल जी वाई इज इक्वल्स टू, लेट्स राइट दिस नाइसली, तो ये हो जाएगा एल जी x to the power b plus LGA. Now another rule of logs, the power rule, उसमें ये कि b जो है, which is the power of the argument, is going to get multiplied by the entire log function. So you have b LGX plus LGA. Now what we're going to do is we're going to compare it with this one. Okay, now if I compare it with this one, I know very well that if I find out the value of the gradient, that's going to give me the value of b. So that means b is m is equals to b, and if somehow I can find out the value of the y-intercept, okay, that's going to give me the value of LGA, which eventually will give me the value of a. ठीक है, so यहाँ पे बहुत सारी वर्किंग जो मैंने की है, बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो मैंने लिखी हैं, हो सकता है आप ये सोच रहे हो कि तो जगह कम है, ठीक है, बट जगह बिल्कुल कम नहीं है. बेसिकली a lot of the extra stuff that I've written is to make you guys understand. जैसे प्रोडक्ट लॉ जो मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा है, या आप लोगों को समझाने के लिए लिखा है. I'm going to erase it. In fact, I'm not going to erase it. I'll just leave it over here. मैं इसको एक बॉक्स में डाल देता हूँ. Okay. अच्छा, अब सबसे पहले let's work out the gradient. So gradient क्या हो जाएगा? Gradient हमारा जो कि b के बराबर है is going to be 4.37 minus 0.57 over 5.36 minus 0.61. So let's work this out and see what do we get. 4.37 minus 0.57 divided by 5.36 minus 0.61. So m आ गया हमारे पास 0.8, which basically means that b is equals to m, which is equal to 0.8. तो b आ गया हमारे पास क्या? 0.8. अच्छा, when to use ln and when to use lg? Well, in this question we had no option but to use lg because the question said so. ठीक है, but normally when you see e in the equation, that's when you use ln. When you don't see e, you can use either. You can use lg or ln. It makes no difference. ठीक है, but where you see e in the equation, you have to use ln. ठीक है, all right. So far, considering that we have the value of b, हम कहाँ पहुँच गए? हम पहुँच गए lgy is equals to b की वैल्यू हम निकाल चुके हैं, which is 0.8 lgx plus lga. ठीक है, अच्छा, Now let's use a point through which the line is passing. So 0.61 and 0.57 is a point that I can use. So पूरे LGY की जगह will have 0.57, 0.8 as it is. पूरे LGX की जगह will have 0.67 plus LGA. Okay. Now let's see what we have. We have 0.57 is equals to 0.8 into 0.61. That means we're looking at 0.488 plus LGA. Please no rounding off before you get to the final answer. Now let's write this nicely. LGA is equals to 0.57 minus the answer. So we have 0.082. Now how will we work out the value of A? A की value निकालने के लिए, remember the base of LG is 10. So A is going to be equal to 10 raised to the power of 0.082. That means A is equals to, let's work this out, 10 to the power of 0.082. So 1.207 जिसको हम 1.21 कर देंगे और ये हमारे पास A की value आ गई. Okay, sir, for determinants questions, when should we use inequalities as separate statements and when? Determinants questions, Sayyid Ahmed, what exactly do you mean by that? Okay, so what do we have now? We have the value of A and B. Okay, then it says using your values of A and B, find the value of y when x is equals to 3. Okay, so remember हम कहाँ पहुँच गए? हमारी जो equation थी वो ये थी. हमारी equation थी LGY is equals to B जो था हमारा वो 0.8 था, LGX और पूरा LGA जो था हमारा वो किसके बराबर था? वो 0.082 के बराबर था. ठीक है? Now, what do we have to find? We have to find the value of y when x is equals to 3. So, LGY is equals to 0.8 LG3 plus 0.082. Okay, now let's work this out. LGY is equals to 0.8 LG3, so log 3 plus 0.082. So that means we're looking at LGY is equals to 0.46369, so on and so forth. But it doesn't matter because हमने क्या use करना है? हमने ultimately अपनी answer की use करनी है. So LG की base 10 होती है, so ये हो जाएगा 10 to the power of answer. So let's work it out. 10 to the power of answer. So we're looking at 2.90. So इसको हम कर देंगे 2.91. Okay, there you go. Discriminant. Okay, matrices is not part of your syllabus anymore in AdMaths. Say them, please note that. Okay, matrices is not part of your syllabus anymore. Functions ki video lined up hai. Don't worry about that. Okay, I'll make one. Okay, part C says the value of y, the value of x and y is equals to 3. Okay, the value of x and y is equals to 3. So remember what was our equation? Our equation was LGY is equals to 0.8 LGX plus 0.082. So value of x and y is equals to 3 means LG3 is equals to 0.8 LGX plus 0.082. So let's work this out one by one. LG3 minus 0.082. ठीक है, हाथ के हाथ 0.8 को भी इधर ले जाओ तो डिवाइड हो जाएगा, is equals to LGX. Now let's write this nicely. Ahmed, if you just drop me a message again on Instagram, I'll let you know. So LGX is equals to, let's work this out in our calculator as it is. Fraction banaya, log 3 minus 0.082 over 0.8. Okay, so we're looking at LGX is equals to 0.4939, so on and so forth. Now LG की base क्या होती है? 10, so x is equals to 10 raised to the power answer. Make sure to use your answer key over here ताकि you don't end up rounding off too soon. So 10 to the power answer is basically 3.11, and there you go, fellas, that's your answer. Oh, discriminant in functions. Okay, I have a video on quadratic. So basically what you're talking about is quadratic. ठीक है, discriminant in, अच्छा मैंने उसको determinant पढ़ा, sorry, my bad. I think you said determinant earlier. हाँ, determinant कहा था आपने, हाँ. So basically जो आपका discriminant होता है उसमें मेरे पास quadratic equations की videos हैं, वो देख लो, उससे आपको help हो जाएगी. ठीक है. Okay. So now let's just do one more question, okay, and then let's call it off. So this is the last question that I'm going to be solving. उसके बाद मैं ये document upload कर दूँगा for you guys. You can practice questions from here. हो जाएंगे सारे questions inshallah, because there's nothing in this that we haven't covered. Okay, so yeah. So it says variables x and y related such that when root then fourth root of y is plotted against 1 upon x, a straight line passing through the point 0.5, 9 and 3, 34 is obtained. Find y as a function of x. Okay, so first things first, our straight line is always y equals to mx plus c. Now y ki jagah we're going to write fourth root of y, and x ki jagah we're going to write 1 upon x plus c. Okay, let's find out the gradient. 34 minus 9 over 3 minus 0.5. Let's work this out. 34 minus 9 is equals to 25, and 3 minus 0.5 is 2.5. m is equals to 10. Okay, so that means कहाँ पहुँच गए हम पहुँच गए यहाँ पे. Fourth root of y is equals to 10 into 1 upon x, ठीक है, plus c. c निकालने के लिए let's use the point through which the line is passing. I'm going to use 0.5, 9 for no particular reason. You can use the other one also, makes no difference. So pura fourth root of y is equals to 9. 10 as it is, 1 upon 0.5 plus c. So 9 is equals to 10 divided by 0.5. So that's equal to 20 plus c. ठीक है, let's find out the value of c now. तो c किसके बराबर आ गया? c बराबर आ गया 9 minus 20, which is equal to minus 11. Okay, now let's see हम कहाँ पहुँच गए. हम पहुँच गए यहाँ पे. Find y as a function of x. So that means fourth root of y is equals to 10 upon x plus नहीं बल्कि minus 11. अच्छा, okay. अब लेट मी मेक श्योर कि मैंने यहाँ तो मैंने आंसर गलत लिखा है या कोई कैलकुलेशन एरर किया है. अच्छा वेट, मैंने वही एरर कर दिया कि यहाँ पे you were supposed to have 0.5. Okay, so 10 into 0.5 is going to be 5. 9 is equals to 5 plus c. So c is equals to 9 minus 5, which is equal to 4. And now that you have the value of c, you can complete your equation by y is equals to fourth root of y actually is equals to 10 upon x plus 4. Okay, now how do you get rid of the fourth root? Well, you do that by simply raising 4 to the power of 4 on both sides. So you jayega 10 upon x plus 4, the whole thing to the power of 4. ठीक है. Okay, now that this is done, अच्छा क्या please solve linear table questions. अच्छा linear table questions past paper में बहुत rare ऐसा हुए हैं कि आए, लेकिन still let me find a question. हाँ चलो ये है ना, let's do this question. ठीक है, चलो फिर ये एक सवाल और करते हैं and that should be enough. Sir उर्दू में बात करें, इंग्लिश नहीं आती मुझे, हमारी कौमी ज़बान है. Yes बेटा, I do accept कि उर्दू हमारी कौमी ज़बान है, but okay, I'll try and do a mix and match. So when are you doing permutations and combinations? Probably this week, but we will do permutations and combinations, don't worry about that. Okay, so चलो I'll just do this one more question and इसके बाद फिर we'll call it off. ठीक है, इसमें हमारा चलो टेबल वाला कॉन्सेप्ट भी कवर हो जाएगा. Yes, Sayyid Ahmed, thank you for pointing that out. So it says here the table shows values of the variables x and y such that y is equals to a b x square, where a and b are constants. Draw a straight line to obtain y to show that y is equals to a b x square. Okay, now in questions like these, what you have to do is you have to decide yourself what to plot against what. Okay, so what you have to do is, and this by the way is a fairly recent question, it's not like really old. You have to decide कि आपने किसके against क्या plot करना है. ठीक है, अब किसके against क्या plot करना है आपने, ये आप कैसे decide करेंगे, ये आप decide करेंगे. पहले आप दोनों sides पे क्या लगाएंगे, दोनों sides पे आप LG लगाएंगे. Okay, so what you have y is equals to ab to the power x square. Okay, now you'll have LG on both sides. Okay, once you have LG on both sides, तो हो जाएगा आपका LG ab to the power x square. Okay, then you're gonna split open this using product law. So LGY is equals to LGA plus LGB x square. ठीक है. Now this is not for 9th grade, this is for advanced. Well, if you're doing linear law in 9th grade, then yes, of course. So LGY is equals to, now notice what happens, x square नीचे आ जाएगा. ठीक है, तो हो जाएगा x square LGB plus LGA. ठीक है. Now remember, what do we compare it with? We always compare it with the equation of a straight line, which is y equals to mx plus c, and this is what tells us कि हमें x axis पे क्या plot करना है और y axis पे क्या plot करना है. Okay, I'll move this over here so that हमें जो extra table बनाना होगा उसकी हमारे पास जगह हो. Okay, then अब I always like to arrange it in such a way ताकि constant पहले हो और जो भी variable हो वो बाद में आए. What that does is that makes it easy to compare. So इसको if you compare with y is equals to mx plus c, so can you guys tell me कि किसके against क्या plot होगा? Can one of you compare this equation with the straight line equation and tell me कि what should I plot and against what should I, मतलब किसके against क्या plot करें, ये बताएं मुझे. Okay, Sayyid Ahmed 2 LGBX. I'm not sure what you mean by that. नहीं, it's x square. ठीक है, x square तो x square ही रहेगा. ठीक है, power जो है आपका वो x square is the entire power. Okay, so x square is going to get multiplied by LGB. ठीक है, so you're not going to multiply the two separately. इसको ज़रा गौर से देखो, कंपेयर करो, मुझे बताओ कि y axis पे क्या आएगा और x axis पे क्या आएगा. जल्दी से बताओ. What are we going to have on the y axis and what are we going to have on the x axis? So can you solve a question on solving quadratic equations graphically? Quadratic equations. Okay. चलो अब तो मैंने और आसान कर दिया. Well, now what do you think? किसके against क्या plot करेंगे हम? So how did you do x plus 2 upon 2? Where did I do x plus 2 upon 2? I didn't do x plus 2 upon 2 anywhere. Okay. Yes, LGY against, अच्छा, not LGX square is just going to be LGY against x square. ठीक है, and जो gradient होगा ना हमारा, gradient हमारा LGB के बराबर होगा, which is then going to help us find out the value of B, और जो हमारा y intercept होगा, graphically जो भी हमारा y intercept होगा, that's going to be equal to LGA, which is going to help us find out the value of A. ठीक है. So I'll repeat, देखो, if you compare it with y equals to mx plus c, so you guys can clearly see, should be able to see कि in place of y we have LGY and in place of x we have x square. LGB तो एक constant है. ठीक है. So that means whatever the value of gradient is will be equated with LGB to find out the value of B, and whatever the y-intercept is graphically, okay, will be equated with LGA, and we're going to use that to find out the value of A. ठीक है. So I hope that's clear to all of you. So that means अब हमें दो रोज इसमें एक्स्ट्रा बनाने पड़ेंगे. एक रो कौन सा? एक रो जिसमें हम एक्स स्क्वायर निकालेंगे और एक रो ऐसा जिसमें हम एल जी वाई निकालेंगे. ठीक है. सो लेट्स फाइंड आउट ऑल दी एक्स स्क्वायर्स. 1 को स्क्वायर करोगे तो 1 होगा. लेट्स फाइंड आउट 1.5 स्क्वायर्ड. सो 1.5 स्क्वायर्ड इज 2.25. 2 squared is going to be 4. Let's find out 2.5 squared. 2.5 squared is 6.25. Let's find out 3 squared. 3 squared is going to be 9. Okay. Now let's find out LGY. Okay, LGY निकालने के लिए let's see what do we have. So you have log 6, तो ये होगा हमारा 0.778, फिर आएगा 14.3, so that's 1.155. ठीक है, अभी मैं ज़्यादा decimal places इसलिए लिख रहा हूँ just so that I don't end up rounding it off too soon. We will obviously plot maximum correct to 2 decimal places ही हम plot कर सकते हैं. So 228, let's see what we have. We have 2.357, so that's going to be 2.36. And then finally, what do we have? We have 1536. So 1536 रहेगा 3.186, जिसको हम ultimately 3.19 कर लेंगे. Okay. अच्छा, अब आपने क्या करना है? अब देखें, सबसे पहले तो have a good look here and see कि there are no negative values. Okay. देयर आर नो नेगेटिव वैल्यूज़, लेकिन फिर भी हम थोड़ा सा रूम रखेंगे क्योंकि जब एक्स स्क्वायर हमारा ज़ीरो होगा तो हो सकता है मे बी एल जी वाई थोड़ा नेगेटिव साइड पे चला जाए, बिकॉज इट्स कमिंग वेरी क्लोज टू ज़ीरो, ठीक है. लेकिन all the values of as far as x are concerned are all positive, and even एल जी वाई values are concerned they're all positive, ठीक है. सो दैट मीन्स जब हम अपना x और y एक्सेस बनाएंगे, सो वी गोना डू इट लाइक दिस. x को आपको बेशक नेगेटिव में नहीं लेके जाओ, ठीक है, उसकी ज़रूरत नहीं है, बट चलो खैर ऐसे बना लेते हैं. लेट्स सी. अच्छा, अब इस क्वेश्चन में एक और चैलेंज ये होता है, एंड दैट इज़ टू कम अप विद द राइट स्केल, ठीक है. वन चैलेंज इज़ दैट वी हैव टू कम अप विद द राइट स्केल, ठीक है. सबसे पहले प्लीज़ लेबल आप एग्जैक्टली कौन से एक्सेस पे क्या प्लॉट कर रहे हैं. सो वी आर प्लॉटिंग एल जी वाई अगेंस्ट एक्स स्क्वायर, ठीक है. अच्छा, हाउ डिड आई फिगर आउट व्हाट टू प्लॉट. सो बेसिकली व्हेनेवर वी हैव अ रिलेशनशिप दैट लुक्स लाइक दिस, ठीक है, उसके लिए हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा. विल हैव टू ब्रिंग एक्स स्क्वायर डाउन समहाउ, ठीक है. एक्स स्क्वायर कैन नॉट रिमेन अ पावर, सो द फर्स्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव इज दैट वी नीड टू ब्रिंग एक्स स्क्वायर डाउन. द ओनली वे टू डू दैट इज बाय अप्लाइंग एल जी ऑन बोथ साइड्स, ओके. एल जी और एल एन, ऑफ कोर्स दैट्स अप टू यू. सो दोनों साइड्स पे हमने एल जी अप्लाई किया. नाउ वी वेटिंग फॉर दिस इक्वेशन टू टर्न इनटू समथिंग लाइक दिस, y इक्वल्स टू एम एक्स प्लस सी, जिसके लिए विल हैव टू रीअरेंज and then somehow eventually bring it in the form of y equals to mx plus c. So whatever you have as y before the equals to sign is what's going to come on the y-axis, ठीक है, and whatever you have in place of x is going to come on the x-axis, and whatever you have before that जो आपका उसका coefficient होगा वो आपका gradient होगा, and जो constant होगा, जो भी left over होगा वो आपका y-intercept होगा, ठीक है. Your gradient is going to help you find out the value of b, and your y-intercept is going to help you find out the value of a, ठीक है. So hopefully that's clear now. अच्छा, अब इसका हमें as far as the values on the x axis goes वो तो आपकी काफ़ी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड सी हैं. 1 से लेकर 9 तक हमें प्लॉट करना है. तो हम एक काम करते हैं, हम इसको 1 ले लेते हैं, इसको 2 ले लेते हैं, इसको 3 ले लेते हैं, इसको 4 ले लेते हैं, इसको 5 6 7 8 9. I don't think we could have come up with a better scale. Yeah, this looks good. अच्छा, फिर on the y axis, well on the y axis things are a little bit tricky. So you have 0.0778 as your minimum value and your maximum value is 3.1986. अच्छा जी, so इसमें हमें काम करते हैं. Let's use two big boxes to represent one unit. इसको हम 1 कर लेते हैं, इसको 2 कर लेते हैं, इसको 3 कर लेते हैं. Could we have done it otherwise? Oh no, wait a minute. अगर हम 4 बॉक्सेस लेके 3 करेंगे, सो 1 2 3 4 2 1 2, नो दैट्स नॉट गुड आइडिया. सो 2 बॉक्सेस छोड़ के 1, फिर 2 बॉक्सेस छोड़ के 2, फिर 2 बॉक्सेस छोड़ के 3, एंड फिर 2 बॉक्सेस छोड़ के 4. Okay, so LGY against, no, LGB, remember LGB is the gradient, ठीक है, it's LGY against x square, ठीक है. LGB तो आपका gradient है ना, because that's what the coefficient of whatever it is that you have on the x-axis is, okay. So 0, अब देखो ये 0.0778 तो हम प्लॉट नहीं कर सकते, तो हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा, हमें इसको करेक्ट टू 2 डेसिमल प्लेसेस लेना पड़ेगा. तो हम इसको कर देंगे 0.78. So we're going to try and figure out where 0.78 lies. So 1 comma 0.78. So 1 comma 0.78. So that means here's 1, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.78. So we'll have to keep it in between 0.7 and 0.8. ठीक है? Yes, because LGB is constant. Okay. And then you have 2.25 comma 1.155. ठीक है? 2.25 is going to be in between 2 and 2.5. So let me just use a line over here to make it clear. Here's 2.2, here's 2.4. 2.25 जो है आपका वो थोड़ा इधर होगा. ठीक है? अच्छा जी, फिर 1.155. So 1.155, here's 1, here's 1.15. It's going to be somewhere over here. तो ये एक और पॉइंट आ गया. अच्छा, फिर you have 4 comma 1.68. This shouldn't be too difficult. 4 and 1.68. So here's 4, here's 1, here's 1.5, here's 1.6, 1.68. Come closer रखते हैं to 1.7. There you go. फिर you have 6.25 and 2.36. So 6.25 is going to be somewhere over here. and then what do you have? You have 1 point, wait a minute, 2.36, sorry. So here's 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, so somewhere in between. There you go. Okay. And then finally 9 comma 3.186, so 9 comma 3.186, so 9 and then 3.1, 3.186, so approximately somewhere over here. Okay, once you have all your points, all these points should pass through a straight line if you've done it correctly. Let's see. Yep, spot on. So that means we have done it correctly. Okay, now अब देखो एक चीज़ इसमें ज़रा क्लियर कर लो. It says use your graph to find the value of a and b. Now we just concluded कि इसको यहाँ पे ज़रा कॉपी पेस्ट कर लेते हैं. अभी हमने एक कंक्लूजन ड्रॉ किया कि जब हम ग्राफ को यूज़ करके ग्रेडियंट निकालेंगे, so that gradient is going to help us find out the value of LGB. M is going to help us find out the value of LGB, and the y-intercept is going to help us find out the value of LGA. Okay? So let's find out the gradient first, or in fact, you know what, we can even start with the y-intercept because that's easier. वो हमें right away मिल जाएगा. So our y-intercept is going to be 0.45. Okay? So here's how this works. 0.45 is equals to LGA, which means LGA is equals to 0.45, and a किसके बराबर हो जाएगा? a बराबर हो जाएगा 10 to the power of 0.45. Let's work this out. A is equals to 10 to the power of 0.45. So what are we looking at? We're looking at 2.818. So 2.82 कर देंगे हम इसको. ठीक है? And you can see our answer is well inside the acceptable range. ठीक है? यहाँ पे acceptable range लिखी हुई है. अच्छा, then let's find out the value of b. b की वैल्यू निकालने के लिए मुझे ग्रेडियंट चाहिए होगा. ग्रेडियंट के लिए मुझे 2 पॉइंट्स चाहिए होंगे. अदर देन द पॉइंट्स दैट वी हैव मार्क्ड, उसके अलावा हम कोई से 2 पॉइंट्स यूज़ करेंगे. ठीक है? सो मेक श्योर दैट यू डोंट एंड अप यूजिंग द पॉइंट्स दैट यू हैव मार्क्ड. Try and look for integer coordinates, but don't waste your time finding out integer coordinates. If you can't find them, just look for other points. Just को read करना आसान हो. ठीक है? So this point is basically 8.8. ठीक है, और इसका जो y coordinate है 3.1. Okay, so I'm going to use this 8.8 and 3.1. इसको लिख लेते हैं 8.8, 3.1, and let's try and find another point जिसको रीड करना आसान हो, जो कि बिल्कुल एक बॉक्स में से पास कर रहा हो ताकि राउंड ऑफ ना करना पड़े. Let's use this one, 3.2 and 1.4. 3.2, 1.4. So we're going to use this to find out the value of the gradient. So what do we have? Let's write them over here. 8.8, 3.1. And then finally 3.2, 1.4. Okay, so the gradient 1.4 minus 3.1 over 3.2 minus 8.8. Let's see what the gradient is. Gradient आ गया हमारे पास 1.4 minus 3.1 and then 3.2 minus 8.8. So what do you have? You have 0.3035. ठीक है, so on and so forth. Now remember, पूरा जो हमारा m था वो LGB के बराबर था. LGB is equals to 0.3035. So b is going to be equal to 10 raised to the power of answer. So b is equals to 10 to the power of answer. What do you have? You have 2.011. And this also is inside the acceptable range. I haven't written the acceptable range of b here, but I assure you it's inside the acceptable range. Yes, this stream will be available as a video later on. Don't worry about that. Acha. फिर it says here, estimate the value of x when y is equals to 100. Okay, so remember अब हमारी equation पूरी आ चुकी है. ठीक है, we have our equation over here. LGY is equals to m turned out to be 0.3035. ठीक है, x square plus LGA, which turned out to be 0.45. Okay, now it says find the value of x when y is equals to 100. Okay, अब x की value हम कैसे निकालेंगे when y is equals to 100? So LG 100 is equals to 0.3035. ठीक है, x square plus 0.45. Now we're going to work this out one by one. O-level stream, O-level you mean O-level math stream. Math की stream आज मुश्किल है कि मैं रखूँ. ठीक है, we'll probably do it tomorrow inshallah. So you have 0.3035 x square is equals to 1.55. ठीक है, 0.45 को इधर लेके चले गए, माइनस हो गया. X square is equals to 1.55 over 0.3035. Let's find out the value of x square. So 1.55 divided by 0. ओके, सॉरी अबाउट दैट. या सो एज आई वाज सेइंग कि आप इस चीज़ के बारे में अक्सर डिबेट ही सुनोगे, कोई कहेगा यूज़ कर सकते हैं, कोई कहेगा नहीं यूज़ कर सकते, ठीक है, बट यू कैन यूज़. You shouldn't use, ideally you shouldn't use the points through which the जो कि टेबल में आ रहा है, ठीक है. यस आई नो, वो माइक डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था, एक्चुअली बैटरी डेड हो गई थी. खैर एनीवे, चलें, सो लेट्स स्टॉप हियर. ठीक है, अब ये स्ट्रीम 2 पार्ट्स में अवेलेबल होगी, ठीक है. यू गाइस कैन वॉच इट लेटर. जिन्होंने आज नहीं देखी वो बाद में देख लेंगे. एंड दैट्स अबाउट इट. अब नेक्स्ट टॉपिक मोस्ट लाइकली जो एड मैथ्स का होगा वो परम्यूटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन होगा, बट आई लेट यू गाइस नो. इट्स ईदर गोना बी परम्यूटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन और मे बी इट्स गोना बी इंटीग्रेशन, वन ऑफ द टू. ठीक है. अच्छा, इंटीग्रेशन करने से पहले ज़ाहिर है उसका प्री रिक्विजिट डिफ्रेंसिएशन है. सो आई स्ट्रांगली सजेस्ट कि डिफ्रेंसिएशन की जो हमारी स्ट्रीम थी उसको ज़रा एक नज़र देख लीजिएगा, स्पेशली जो इसमें एटलीस्ट यू गाइस शुड नो कि साइन का डिफरेंशियल क्या होता है, कॉस का क्या होता है, ln का क्या होता है, e टू द पावर x का क्या होता है, ठीक है. सो दैट इंटीग्रेशन में यू नॉट कम्प्लीटली ब्लैंक. What pen spinning technique do you use? Well, I don't know what you call it, but it's just, I don't know, whatever this is. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, I'll stop here. See you guys inshallah tomorrow hopefully. If not tonight, अगर मैंने आज मैथ की कोई स्ट्रीम रखी so we'll see you guys tonight. But other than, if not, then I'll see you guys tomorrow. ठीक है, so take care everyone. Allah Hafiz. What topic is the next add math stream? Like I said, maybe permutation combination or maybe integration. Paper attempting technique add maths की मुझे बनानी है. Don't worry about that. It's pending. ठीक है. So, चलें, okay guys. Take care. Allah Hafiz.